They look at me and see only the mask. The Azakana have spread like a plague since the Noxian invasion. My work never ends. Before, I chased a wayward gale. Now I hunt a storm of darkness.
Hey guys, welcome to the first video on this new channel. So we are playing Yone into Fizz. Now Fizz is known as a pretty hard counter pick to Yone because he's very mobile and has a lot of burst damage. Yone is squishy and has a lot of skill shots, so it's a really tough matchup in the laning phase. A lot of people like to poke a melee champion when the 3 frontline minions are low HP, but you really have to avoid doing that into Fizz because he starts his C level 1, so he's going to get those 3 minions and then he might hit you with the AoE as well. So the way I like to play this matchup here, guys, is that I try to play it really aggressive, because if you don't do that, then he's going to slowly whittle you down with electrocute procs until you're low enough HP to the point where he can just all in you. So I'm going to play it really aggressive, respect his poke potential. Of course, we do have the bone plating here, so his okay tower shot, OP tower apparently was within range. But yeah, we have the bone plating, so we can reduce some of his all-in damage. But I'm going to play this really aggressive, otherwise he will just slowly get the lead as we get more levels. So I'm going to slowly poke him down, dodge his C with our E, because it is a small dash, right, so we can use that to dodge it with. Now we can look for the all-in here. I'm not going to ignite him at the start, because otherwise he would just flash away. If you notice, I ignited at the end. So, just so we can surprise him with that extra burst damage, because if I started that ignite, then he would just peace out immediately and then we would not get the kill. But yeah, this is a Diamond Fizz one trick, so he obviously knows how to play his champion. But this is how I like to play the matchup. Play it really aggressive, but also be careful of the enemy jungler. If they have a very strong early game jungler, then obviously you can't really play that aggressive. But otherwise you want to be trying to poke him as much as possible and really focus on dodging his C. You know, Fizz always wants to max out his C because he gets a lot of AoE damage from it, so it also helps him with that wave clear part, right? So Emax is the way to go for Fizz, and that will also be most of his damage when trading, so if you dodge that, then you can easily win the fights. Also be careful of using your third Q when his C is up, because he's just gonna dodge it and then he's gonna turn on you. Bit unfortunate, missed that Q, guys, that's not good, but we have a gank coming in here. I waited using my E until he was slow enough HP for me to execute him, so I made sure that I got the kill so I can snowball. So it is a new build we are using here, guys. I haven't tried it much, but it scales incredibly well because you get that true damage from the Kraken Slayer, so you're gonna shred tanks and have insane amount of attack speed as well. You're gonna overcap most likely, but it doesn't really matter because you get so much damage. So tanks will not be a problem. They don't really have real tanks this game here, so they have Sion, but it takes a lot of time for him to scale up because he's in the support role, so it will not be a problem. But this is like a fighter build. As soon as you have these 2 items, you can constantly look for fights. You have a lot of sustain as well. The Bloodthirster, so you can constantly hop in and out of fights without getting to low HP levels. You can also heal up quite easily. But yeah, in this matchup, try to play a bit aggressive in the first few levels and respect especially his level 3. From level 3 is where Fizz really wants to trade with people. He has to use his Q, auto attack, then W, and then he's going to E out. That is going to hurt a lot, especially if he gets to do this like 2 or 3 times, then your lane is over, so respect that and try to play around it. Gonna annoy this guy. Oh wow, missed that Q, that is not good. I want to save my ultimate until they are lined up. Missed another Q. Okay, I actually griefed right here. Wow, they also have a lot of burst damage. I ran it down here. If I played it normally, then I could have gotten both kills. But into a Fizz lane, then obviously you do not want to just mindlessly use your ultimate. He can easily dodge it because it has a delay and he is very mobile as well. So yeah, I usually, when I look for a kill with that ultimate, I try to combine it with that Q3 knockup. It's very important. That way you can pretty much guarantee that they can't really dodge it. And if you use that combo, then you have to make sure that it is a max range Q, right? Max range Q3, because if it isn't, then they will have a half a second window to flash out or use any movement abilities. If you do at max range Q3, then they have absolutely no time to get away from your ultimate. Yeah, in Ranked, when I play champions like Yone and Yasuo guys, I really try to brute force my way in the mid lane. I try to apply as much pressure as possible, so I force the enemy jungler to camp my lane. And that is also a way of carrying. I know some people like to roam. Got his ultimate out. That was the combo. That was not the max range Q3, because if he had anything up, then he could easily have escaped right here. But you saw he had like half a second window to do something because he was on the ground. So that's why if you use that combo and you know they have something up, then make sure it is from max range. Yeah, I know some people like to roam a lot in solo queue, guys. It definitely works quite well. It is one of the most OP strats, but my playstyle, I'll always look for kills in the mid lane. When I get those kills, then I just try to shove them in and then apply as much pressure as possible. I like to shove in the waves and then I walk into the enemy jungle, try to fin the enemy jungler, and if I can't, then I just get some vision. Because it can help my teammates as well, and I will know where the enemy jungler is at all times, so I know when I can play aggressive and when I really can't do that. He had that Mordekaiser's ultimate, nice. I was doing great top lane. You can bait that E out, guys, in this matchup, then you're going to win it. Of course, if he doesn't hit his max range ultimate. Just so try to focus on doing that and make sure that if he hops on you right, then you want to make sure that you trade back, because if you don't trade back, then you just look for an all-in on you and then you're just dead. Nice, and we got his ultimate and ignite out as well. This is perfect. But yeah, we're going to outskill this matchup really hard. Yone skills insane towards the later stages of the game, especially if you're using this. With the item here, Kraken Slayer has a lot more damage compared to the Chill Bow, which is more a offensive and defensive item. This Kraken Slayer is 100% offensive, so you get a lot of frontline damage. I didn't really have a choice here. I just wanted to ult out so he doesn't burst me down. Kha'Zix, do not underestimate his isolation damage, guys, especially not when you play Yone. You're like a paper champion. When you are faced up against these assassins, they're just gonna look to one-shot you. Our teammates are doing pretty decent. It's always a stomp nowadays, especially in these silos. Yeah, we definitely want to look for the Drake. So whenever the dragon is spawning, guys, then I try to secure vision around the lane. Get a control ward for sure. I have to hit bot here and defend the tower. I'm losing some farm in the mid lane, but I make sure they don't get too many tower plates, so now I can head back mid. We almost... we need a bit more gold for that Kraken Slayer. When we have that, then we have a ridiculous amount of damage, but we don't have that defensive shield that we get from the shield bow, so you have to play a lot smarter with this build. Dragon sub, so you just want to look to push the waves, guys, and then we secure the vision around that area. When it spawns, you don't want to recall like 20 seconds before it spawns, because that is way too late. You want to make sure that you are there 20-30 seconds before it spawns, so you can set up vision and pick people off who are coming to classics. Sneak the dragons a bit unfortunate, but we didn't really have vision, so a very bad fight to take, because we are all grouped up, so one Fizz and Sign ultimate could really mess us up, so just want to avoid this if possible, and let me go 1 versus 1 in the mid lane, and then I can try to snowball myself further. Because we already have 4 kills in the mid lane, guys. We want to keep looking for those kills here. Bait out his C, and when he uses that, then you are free to go in and poke him. Really good roam by Salas as well. You see, I'm starting to trade with him when the minion wave is nearby, because he's going to lose a lot of his damage. Like, he deals damage when the target is isolated, right? So if I tried to trade with him earlier than this, then I could have risked dying, because he has a ton of damage even though I'm super far ahead. We are just building damage, right? So he doesn't counter Kha'Zix in any way. So when you trade with Kha'Zix, guys, try to stay around your minions or teammates. That way you will lower his damage by a lot. Got the Kraken Slayer now, so now we have a lot of damage. Next item will be the Bloodthirster, so we actually get a shield, but it's a shield that will expire. And it doesn't require for us to be low HP. The thing is, if you're in a bad matchup and you are struggling quite a bit, guys, then you can also get the Vamp Scepter. I like to do that sometimes after I get the tier 2 boots. Wow, that is ridiculous damage from that Kha'Zix. I'm sitting on 6-7 kills and he's almost one-shotting me. Nice champion, guys. Isolation damage is crazy, so that's why you fight this guy, you stay nearby allied units. Just have to keep pushing, just brute force your way towards the middle lane here. And then take away jungle camps if possible. I like to do that to stay up CS wise, that's very important. And you also set the enemy jungle behind. They're going to get really tilted when they get into the jungle and there are no camps left, so they just wasted time. So they have to move towards the other side of the jungle. When you do stuff like this, guys, always look at the minimap where your main body is, because people like to sometimes they just camp around your main body and wait for you to come back. So always keep an eye on the minimap, guys, so you know if somebody comes, then you can just back off. Whoops, that ultimate missed. No. Yeah, as I said, it has a delay, right, your ultimate, so it is very easy to dodge, especially if they have tier 2 boots. But this stuff is going to happen a lot. But there are many games where I engage with my ultimate first, and that is if I want a gap closer into an extended fight. Because if I engage with my E first, then it will not be extended fight, it's more for bursting down people, because it is going to force me back to my main body, right? So that's why the ultimate engage can help you if you just want to get straight into melee range, but make sure that you don't need to that mobility tool after the fight. Make sure that there's nobody left that can gank you and get the kill. Oh wow, he wasted his ultimate, I don't know why. I guess he's not focusing right now, because that is his only tool he has available. Yeah, you don't have that extra defensive shield from the shield bow. You are very vulnerable into burst. Obviously, in this game here, I actually think that shield bow is the best. I mean, overall, it is the best item on Yone, but this one has a lot DPS. That's why I'm trying it out this game. I have tried it a few games before. It does feel really good because you also get a lot of attack speed on top of that true damage. But yeah, you play against assassins, guys, then obviously shield bow is the safest choice. Unless you're really good on Yone and very confident on the champion, then you can still go ahead with the Kraken Slayer, but overall shield bow is going to be a lot safer for you and really counter some of the burst damage they have. Alright, we can go ahead and get the Bloodthirst, the second item here, or third item if you include the boots. Now we have a lot of sustain as well, and we have that overheal shield, so that is going to help a lot with the burst damage as well. The good thing here is that that shield will receive the damage first compared to shield bow, because that only triggers when you are getting to low HP levels. This Bloodthirster is also really good for constant fights. Obviously Infinity Edge has a lot more scaling damage, but we will be getting that in this build as well. This is to make sure that we have a lot of sustain, so if we kill somebody and we're low HP, then we can just find a nearby monster camp or minion wave and then just heal back up to full HP. Try to stay in the sideline as much as possible, guys. I really want to keep my CS numbers high. Mordekaiser coming, he does not understand how much damage Yone has at this point. Wow, and he actually baited me. Because he had that shield on his W, that's why he survived, otherwise he would have died right here, because that mark would have procced. That sucks a bit. Did not get the kill, but my teammates are doing the Herald. Look for a kill here, get the center, of course, focus down the carries. He's just gonna melt. Now if you play in lower elo ranked, guys, obviously you can't really go to the side lane all the time because your teammates will get caught. Even in Diamond it happens all the time, so you can't really trust your team. So what you have to do is that you try to rotate, so you go to the closest lane to where your team is, you pick up waves and then you just hit back to your team. Then you also take the jungle camps on the way. The way you don't get too far behind CS wise, it is very important that you constantly send your lead with that farm and XP you get from the minions. Yeah, this should be GG's, so that was the first video on this channel. I hope this was helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you guys in the next video.